Faith Under the Lights podcast. Make sure to subscribe and share.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Faith Under the Lights has been a little bit of a hiatus, just trying to, get back into the swing of things. And so we're going to get it kicked off and just kind of give you guys an overview, kind of what's been happening. I'm Nolan. He's Zach.
What up?
Yep. So, we're just, we're going to get on here and look, man, we're two guys that work in a plant. We got home lives and families, and I just had a new baby. He's got two little girls. And y'all do all kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, and I got 11 kids.
We
just added a brand new one. So things are kind of hectic, man, out where we're at. But
turnaround.
Yeah. And then so
ice storms.
Yeah. Yeah. Be careful saying the word ice. But yeah, Zach, tell us a little bit about maybe what's going on in your life. What you guys are doing. I know you're pretty excited about something new that you guys are kind of a part of. So why don't you give us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, some of y'all followed a while back, and you saw that I had pastored a church for quite a while. And, we moved on from that. It was a great time. Really enjoyed that. And not long, I want to say about 6-7 months, we took a hiatus off of attending a church faithfully. We kind of bounced around to some other ones. And then this new church opened up literally a few hundred feet away from my house. Yeah. If I really got into a golf ball, I could touch the top of the church. So great church, man.
You'd probably slice it, though.
I would definitely. I would hit somebody else's house first. It was a great church. Put a lot of emphasis on the gospel, opportunities to serve in the youth over there, opportunities to, I've spoken a little bit over there, really just to help be with the pastor, a healthy church family, and it's just been a great time. My wife is enjoying it. We're getting plugged in and really just enjoying that time.
That's good. So I've been going to the same church I've been going to for about 13 years now. But I've recently gotten plugged in with our mutual friend Cole. If you've seen him a couple times on here, the real ugly guy.
Can't miss him.
Yeah. But we've had an opportunity to go and talk to some kids that are they've had some difficulties in their life, and been able to go over there. And it's a program called YCP Youth Challenge Program. We go to the Carville campus and talk to those kids and just kind of mentor. And that's been pretty life-changing for me. I've gotten a lot out of doing that. And so been really hemmed up with that. But, yeah, man, that's just kind of us, what we're doing in a nutshell. I think, our purpose for this podcast is to get the name of Jesus as
Amen.
Far out as we can.
Amen.
The vehicle we're going to use is sports.
Yep.
And so because that's something we love. I'm not an expert in it. If you follow me on Facebook, I like to put predictions, what I think, who's going to win, and most of the time they are wrong. So
you kind of qualify for national media.
Yeah,
I don't remember the last time they were right.
That's right.
So you're on your way, son.
I'll tell you what wasn't right this year, and that was the 2025 LSU football team. And we're going to recap some of this since we missed a lot of football season. Actually, we were just getting kicked off the last time football season was starting.
We were talking about what was coming.
Yeah.
And we had no idea what was coming.
No idea.
Nobody did. I don't care if anybody says they did.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
No.
Nobody knew.
Yeah, we were super excited about, Garrett Nussmeier and just everything that was coming. The defense was going to be raw, and we had Harlem Berry coming and all this stuff. But man, it fell apart, and it fell apart pretty quickly. We come out of the gate, we beat Clemson, we finally win the season opener, and we're thinking, all right, here we go. And then the wheels.
Yeah, we started off 5-0.
Yeah.
I'll just run through the record quickly. We won our first 4 games. I'm sorry. Beat Clemson, Louisiana Tech. Then we beat Florida. We saw some signs against Florida. 5 interceptions and 1 touchdown on offense.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Then we smoked Southeastern, and then we went to Ole Miss, which ended up being one of the most pivotal and one of the best games for the future of this program.
Yeah.
We never saw that coming. Obviously lost to Ole Miss, only by 5. Then we bounced back against South Carolina, and then went and got embarrassed, in my opinion, in Nashville by Vanderbilt. And then the nail in the coffin was Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Everything after that, I guess, doesn't really matter. Lost to Alabama, beat Arkansas by a point, beat Western Kentucky by 3 points, lost to Oklahoma by 4 points, and then lost to Houston by 4 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think anybody on God's green earth predicted that to go down.
And when you're looking back at the season, I know I have my thoughts of where it really messed up and what the linchpin was. But what do you see as what was the main issue? And is he not coaching for us anymore? Is that the main issue, or
I think it's two?
Yeah,
I think it's two. And I think before we go to the Lane Kiffin thing, I think Lane addressed it already. First and foremost, you can put these amazing classes together, but if the captain of the ship is not right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no way a healthy Garrett Nussmeier only scores 20 points against Florida.
Right.
There's just no way.
Especially after the season.
There's no way. I mean, he was a shell of himself,
Yeah.
and I think everybody saw that.
Yeah.
And now, as the time we're recording this, yesterday was the Senior Bowl. He was the MVP of the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
He looks healthy. You know why? Because he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
And you can give him all those weapons, but if he can't get the ball to him, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
That was a big deal. And then when I knew it was over, obviously A&M, I mean, we knew it was over then. But when I knew it was over was whenever he corrected Michael Cobble, the reporter. And said we were spoiled. And what it showed me is he had no ability to relate to what football in Baton Rouge is.
Yeah.
It's not the same as everywhere else. We're not okay with 9 or 10 wins. 9 wins will get you fired in Baton Rouge. And telling us that we're spoiled when it's blatantly obvious that your team is not clicking on all cylinders. You're on one leg just praying that Blake and the defense figured it out. And
for 5 games they did.
Yeah, and that game you happened to win it.
Yeah.
And you never accept something in a loss that you would in a win. Or vice versa. You never accept something in a win that you would in a loss.
Yeah.
You know, and the lack of execution, the lack of physicality, the lack of fight, the lack of want to was so evident. And it just goes to show, you know, it's just having the names on the roster is not everything it takes.
Yeah.
You got to have the right guys on the bus.
That's right. I think, you know, just from my point of view, it doesn't matter what you got, what kind of weapons you got. If you can't keep them off your quarterback, it doesn't matter. I've never seen an LSU football team that couldn't block. You know, yeah.
But see, that was a problem last year too.
Yeah.
They had a great passing protection last year, phenomenal, one of the best in the country. Could not run.
Yeah.
Would not run. Yes, it comes from Joe Sloan as well, but that's also Brian Kelly's job.
Yeah.
A man that's been around football that long should be able to identify that we did not run a single power formation the entire football year. Man. This is Louisiana State University. You know, it's not Washington State in the early 2000s or something with the air raid. It's not who we are.
Yeah.
No balls over the middle of the field. Your quarterback's hurt. So you're going to make him throw it 40 yards to the hash. I mean, he's giving everything he's got to get it to the hash. Yeah. He can't throw it 10 yards upfield. Nothing over the middle. So it was a terrible game plan. But that physicality, man, and I'll tell you right now, when I knew it was over, I mean, I knew it was over. Well, even after the spoiled comments, I'm like, well, he gone this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless something turns around, you can't say that to Tiger fans.
Right.
But when A&M came in there and took over the stadium, literally, I hope and pray we never see this again.
Yeah.
But a fan base come get in our student section and cheer for LSU when they scored a touchdown.
Wow.
That's so humiliating.
Especially if it's Texas A&M.
Oh, my. But you remember when you knew it was over, even at the beginning of that game, when our only dog that we thought we had was Carius Kern, who now plays for that team in northern Mississippi. But he was supposed to be a dog, and that guy was lined up against him, that defensive end, and he punked him out in front of the whole world. Yeah. And it was never the same after that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, it was very unfortunate, but you know, it turned LSU to where they had to let their coach go, and then we go and get Mr. Lane Kiffin. Yeah. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. The hiring process, that was crazy. I work with a guy who's a big Florida fan, and he would come to me every day, and he'd say, "Man, I don't even know why y'all worried about Lane Kiffin. I got an inside source."
Oh, yeah.
And
everybody's got a source.
He had the inside source, so I let him off the hook pretty easy. I probably could have gave him a lot more. But man, that was some crazy stuff, right? The way the calendar works and everything. They definitely.
I don't know all the ins and outs because like enrollment and everything, I know that plays a role in it, but I mean, it doesn't work. It's just broken. It's just not right. Yeah, and it's just not right.
So when they were looking for a coach, was Kiffin the top guy on your list?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm on too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
of the guys you could get.
Yeah. So he comes over here. I feel like he was trying to get it to where he could coach his guys right through the playoff. Yep. It was a very awkward situation.
It was never going to happen.
Yeah, and I knew they weren't going to let him do that. But I mean, you had to give him an A for effort for trying. But
he stayed as long as he could.
How did you feel about him allowing the assistants to continue to coach?
I mean, I think it was all class, and I think it was all class from LSU as well. Those kids didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
The coaches really didn't do anything wrong. Before all those coaches landed at Ole Miss, they left other schools to go there.
That's right.
That is the nature of the beast of coaching. And those guys leave and uproot their families all the time. There is a human aspect to it, and none of those guys graduated from Ole Miss or from Oxford, Mississippi. They all went there for one reason, to coach Ole Miss. And they all went there. The other reason they went there was to coach under Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. I mean, he is the hottest name outside of maybe Kurt Signetti in the entire country when it comes to coaching.
Yeah.
And he deserves it. He turned that program all the way around. So I thought it was class to allow them to do that. I was worried about the guys burning out. I mean, what Charlie Weiss was doing was insane.
Yeah.
Flying into Oxford. Shout out to him and more, by the way. Even though I work for Triad, shout out to him and more. Flying these guys all over the place and allowing them to not only coach, but they were recruiting.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie Weiss is putting a game plan together for Georgia and meeting with quarterbacks for LSU. And then going and help set up the strategy for getting these guys. It was insane.
And that's just what you know. I mean,
that's all. We don't really know anything.
Right.
But it was unbelievable.
Yeah. So when I lost my train of thought. So what happened was, you got Tulane first game, right?
Yeah.
They knew they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to beat Georgia.
I think that changed everything.
And that's when everything got crazy, right?
Nobody expected them.
Nobody
expected them to beat Georgia.
Yeah.
I think that really and from everything that I saw, and I don't have any sources, but the people who do have sources, from what I saw, it wasn't Lane really trying to get anybody back.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure he wasn't happy about it. He can say he was all he wants.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he was happy for the kids, but he wants his coaches back. It's time to go to work.
Yeah, because, that deadline for the transfer portal was creeping up on him.
Yeah.
And so, transitioning into now he's the LSU coach. You got all the coaches there in the building. Let me give you a little rundown of some of the things that I kind of looked up. And so, we need to understand what a 5-star recruit is. Okay, so all these people that rank recruits and everything, most of them, they give out 32 5-star recruits, right? For
32
first round draft picks. And so it says the 0.01% of athletes nationwide get a 5-star. In Kiffin's tenure at Ole Miss from 2020 to 2025, he signed 2 5-star recruits. It was a linebacker in 2023 and then a wide receiver in 25. In that same time frame, LSU assigned 13 5-star recruits. I dug in a little bit. Since 2020, LSU has pretty much smoked Ole Miss when it comes to drafted players, almost doubled them up. We've had 43 drafted players. They've had 25. We've had 9 first-rounders, including Joe Burrow and Daniels.
A couple Heismans.
Yeah, a couple Heismans. And they've had 3 first-rounders. So, but then right out the gate, man, this dude is just blazing out the trail, getting all these top transfers. So what do you think about the transfer portal class that's coming in, and what are you most excited about?
Well, I think it shows why Lane came, first off.
Yeah.
We were talking before this, and just something. I'm not going to bag on Ole Miss. I think I've made it evident before we knew we were getting Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
You brought up Jackson Dart a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I said, I hope he never wins another game.
Yeah.
So that dislike has always been in my heart for Ole Miss. So and I'm not bagging on anybody. I'm just being realistic. That's a smaller state with 2 major schools there.
Yeah.
You can't get all the recruits that Louisiana can give.
Right.
And just to put it in a nutshell, when LSU went to Ole Miss, it was the biggest crowd in the history of Vaught Hemingway Stadium, and it was less than 68,000 people.
Yeah.
Now, that's a lot of people.
Right.
But the smallest crowd at Tiger Stadium this year, one of the worst years in the history of LSU football,
Yeah.
the smallest crowd was against Arkansas, and we had 101,000 people.
That's crazy.
So over 30,000 more people showed up. And then also Western Kentucky was 102,000 people. And I went to that one.
Yeah.
And it was terrible. I left before LSU even scored a point. It was terrible.
Wow.
But anyways, it just shows why Lane came here. He saw what it could be. And then the portal just was the proof was in the pudding.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam Levitt, Jordan Seaton, Prince Uamielen, however you say that.
Yeah.
You know,
You did a good job there.
I think I did.
Yeah.
And then, you went and got Mansour Delaney's little brother.
Yeah.
Fahim Delane. Went and got some great J.C. Brown. Great wide receivers are coming in. We kept Trey We kept Harlan Berry.
Yeah.
You kept Braylon Moore. You kept Whit Weeks. And you kept Blake Baker.
Yeah.
That's the biggest haul out of all of them.
I think so too.
I mean, the portal class, it really speaks for itself. And it's not something that is going to happen every year. But as you know, we love LSU baseball. I went there yesterday, and they canceled the game 5 minutes before the scrimmage, 5 minutes before. So I didn't love it at the moment because we were there freezing, and they canceled it. I wasn't happy. Wasn't happy at all. But it is what it is. But, Jay always had that saying of the right guys on the bus. That's what he was talking about last year. He made sure he didn't just go get talent, didn't go get the best arm, the best bat. He went and got the best people, the best guys, the right guys on the bus. So we'll see if that's Lane's philosophy.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Cam Coleman, the number one guy in the portal, the wide receiver. I don't think they even talked to him. I don't know if they were really interested in him.
Yeah, wide receiver wise, I mean, how many would sign? 9 wide receivers. So basically, I think there's one that stayed, and then it's all new guys. Well, you had 2 that stayed, I think. But then it's
one. You had one.
Yeah.
Even Teron Francis left and went to West Virginia. We kept I can't remember his name right now. I was kind of upset about some of the guys that did leave. I wanted to see what Kyle Parker could do.
Yeah.
I hated to see him go.
Yeah. But I think we addressed the offensive line and the running back situation. Obviously, the quarterback situation, because we had no returning quarterbacks.
Now we got the number 1 and number 6 quarterback in the portal.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then a guy that everybody sees, this dude's going to pop.
Yeah.
If he pops here, great. But he's going to pop somewhere in Landon Clark.
Yeah, I'm excited.
He's got the goods, man.
So it's the Lane Kiffin era. The Lane Kiffin era is underway in Baton Rouge, and it feels good. And I had somebody. This is always what you get. If you say something good about Lane Kiffin, you get some, some gump from Alabama. Oh, just wait 5 years. I'm gonna tell you, partner. If he stays here 5 years, he's fixing to run.
I told my dad. My dad said he's gonna leave in 5 years, son. I said, you know what? A little bit of gumbo is better than no gumbo at all.
You said that on here.
I want at least a little bit of gumbo.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's some exciting gumbo.
And then not just the transfer portal, the class he kept together.
Yeah.
The recruiting class. That was massive.
That was huge.
It was massive. I mean, he got the number 1 player in the country, the number 1 defensive lineman in the country, the number 2 edge in the country.
Yep.
They're all. If you look at LSU's class, I think it ranks 12th or 13th.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the composite of the guys they're bringing in, it's number 2.
Yeah.
Only to Oregon, who has Nike money.
Yeah.
We got chicken finger money. We got Canes. So
Chicken finger money's not
hey,
bad.
it's good. I would suggest, though, go get your chicken fingers now because they going up next year. They going up.
I remember when Canes first started, man. Them chicken tenders are way bigger than they are now. So good. Future looks good. I'm excited about it. You're excited about it. Are you going to go to Oxford next year when we go down?
So I am not going to Oxford. I talked to my wife about it. I am going to go to the Clemson game because it's Lane's for. Just for a second, let me be poetic for just a second. This dude is going to walk out of the tunnel for the first time with Dabo Sweeney on the other side of the field. And Clemson and 2 national championships in Tiger Stadium at night. The rockets going off, the planes flying over, The student section is banging out some Little Boosie. I mean, it is just going to be absolutely electric in that place. I can't pass on that. But the Ole Miss question, no, because I'm not going to jail.
Yeah.
I don't ever intend on putting my hands on a person for the rest of my life, but that's going to be violent.
It is.
And it's just not worth it. It's just football. As much as I care about football, it's just football. Yeah. But there are going to be people throwing stuff at people, hitting people, saying things that is really hard to walk away from.
Yeah.
And it's sad because it takes away from a great environment. And I don't really feel like being one of 70,000. That's all they can. They can't even get to 70,000.
Well, you're throwing kidney punches at these guys now. They do play in Neyland next year. Don't they go? They go to Tennessee. That's a good place to go. Maybe
that schedule next year is a gauntlet.
Yeah.
They got back-to-back road games against. I think it's is it Tennessee and Alabama? I think.
Yeah,
I have to look it up. It's bad. Tough year.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. College football playoff was this year was not short of excitement. The job that Indiana did. Did you expect Indiana to get as far as they got?
No, nobody did.
Yeah,
nobody did. I'm sorry. I'm just the away games next year at Ole Miss, obviously, which is going to be one of the crazy.
That's early in the season too,
it's
right?
The third game of the year. It's first SEC games. They got Clemson, La Tech. Then they go to Ole Miss, which is going, and the tickets right now are the low is set at $430. So that's nosebleeds.
Yeah,
it's only 70,000 tickets, so they can't sell too many of them.
They don't have much of a nosebleed though. It's like sitting at the top of a high school stadium.
I mean, you don't even get lightheaded up there. Then they go to Kentucky. That's okay. I mean, it's going to be a tough one. They did almost beat Lane this year. Then we go to Auburn. That'll be a tough one. They got a new coach in. And then we finish then we have back-to-back home games against Bama and Texas. And then they go to Tennessee and to Arkansas to finish the season.
Yeah, Lane, you're going to have to earn that money next year,
buddy. That's a tough schedule.
So getting back on the college football playoff, Indiana with a magical run. If you're one of those ones that compares this year's Indiana team to 2019 LSU team, you're smoking something.
You own that good stuff.
Yeah, we need
great team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take nothing away from them.
I think Cignetti has the potential to, if he can handle the NIL and the portal the right way, I think that he's got the potential to make some noise as a really, really, really good coach for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You know,
he's an older guy. I don't know how long he can maintain it.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for the guy. I mean, he worked his tail off to get where he's at.
Do you see Saban in him a little bit? Like,
not really.
No.
He's different. So he gives his coach a lot of rest.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen all that. We talked about like his coaches, they don't work as much as other coaches do. They don't sleep at the office. They don't do all that. He demands them to go home, spend time with their families. And I think it's a really good, healthy balance.
Yeah.
Nick Saban did not do that.
Yeah.
His demand for excellence, his resolve, maybe the stoicism a little bit, where he's not pleased until the job's done, and Saban obviously was that way.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot more to say. He's very confident, and I think his team just feeds off of it.
Yeah.
Like their coach is out there yapping, and he ain't worried about none of it. He ain't scared of nobody.
Yeah.
And I think he's just confident because he knows what he prepared his guys for. Like the viral clip that went from the second round, I think it was, when they played Alabama. And Kalen DeBose, as my buddy Moscona calls him, Kalen DeBose calls that terrible play to try to draw him offside.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody was jumping on that. But just that's where that viral scene came where he just had his eye cocked like, we prepare.
Are you serious?
Man. Like, this is not pee-wee.
Yeah.
Like, we're a real football team.
Yeah.
And I think right then and there, they just kind of dropped it on everybody. It was like, nobody's beating us.
Yeah.
They were prepared. They're tough. They were physical. They were fast. I think Mendoza is very overrated, but I do think he's a very good college player. I just feel bad for him where he's going.
Oh, you think Oakland's going to pick him up first?
Absolutely.
I like Mendoza, man. I
think a great kid.
I think that he's going to do okay in the NFL.
Dude, so much of it's where you go.
Yeah.
And you can't change that. So much of it's where you go.
Yeah, Oakland's a graveyard. It's a graveyard.
It's just murdered career after career. Geno Smith was a decent quarterback last year.
Yeah.
Some places are just it's not designed to win.
My biggest surprise outside of Indiana winning the whole thing, now take this with a grain of salt. Whenever I made my predictions of who I thought was going to win, for some reason I thought Alabama was fixing to make a run with the way Ty Simpson was playing.
It seemed like it.
Yeah,
and they won it was like 3 out of 5 weeks was road games.
Yeah,
they won.
Yeah, and then they just get skull drug. I mean, I was like, man, and I think that right there solidified that this isn't the Alabama that everybody.
The consistency's gone.
It is out.
The ability is going to be there forever.
Yeah.
The consistency's gone.
Forever's. That's a long time.
It's whatever. He's not ever coming back.
No,
there's not many. Look, one thing as LSU fans we have to understand: Lane is going to bring a lot of pop, and he's going to bring a lot of persona. He has already embraced the state, and the state is obsessed with him. Yeah. It is a great marriage right now. There's going to come a day where Lane goes for it on 4th and 15 inside of his own 30 because he is Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
He's unpredictable. He's a cowboy. He's going to do what he wants to do, and he's going to upset 500,000 people that's watching that game. But understand that's what you got when you got him. Yeah. As great as Lane is, and he is great, he, in my opinion, he is the greatest offensive mind in college football, maybe history, but for sure my generation. Nobody's even close to him.
No, I would agree with that.
When you go back and look at his pedigree, it's not just the head coaching jobs. The head coaching jobs spoke for themselves. Right? Ole Miss couldn't stop him. FAU, when he went there, he turned the whole program around. Alabama, we've seen how that played out.
Yeah.
USC, he didn't have a bad record at USC. He didn't get along well with it. But the offense was popping as the head coach. When he was the offensive coordinator at USC, his quarterback won a Heisman in Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
Then you had Reggie Bush and Lindell White. We all remember the 04-05 USC. That was his offense. He's never, in 20 years, he has not had a bad offense. I don't think he's going to start having one now.
Yeah. But
he is going to do some stuff that makes you scratch your head. And I guess just the consistency that we saw from Saban. I don't know if that'll ever be matched again just because of the intensity it takes, the lack of being satisfied. And I think that's what I see in Curt Cignetti. That's why I never for a second thought they weren't going to win because I knew they were going to be prepared no matter who they played.
Yeah. I think whoever can figure out the NIL stuff and the transfer portal stuff as it is right now. If it stays like this, man, that's a tough thing. It's gonna be tough to build consistency through that because you never know who you got. Your starters, the guys that they know they're gonna get playing time, they're gonna stay. If they're not playing, most of them dudes are bouncing, right? And so whoever can create some sense of loyalty and keep their guys on the team and then develop some people, I think that's going to be the ones that are going to win. Lane Kiffin's doing a great job. He's bouncing around. He's hitting all them high schools, man.
Yeah,
he's
it's
creating
fun to see that.
Yeah, it is. So
I even got a Twitter because of Lane Kiffin. I got on X just because it's so fun just to watch it.
I can't mess with X.
It's fun to watch it and see all these different high schools they go to.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome, man. BK never did that.
Yeah.
BK never wanted to be a part of this state, and this state never wanted BK. He could have been great here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the man knows the X's and O's.
Yeah.
He just didn't want it.
One of his former quarterbacks was on an interview with a local sports show talking about he's one of the funnest coaches to play for. Number two, this dude is an awesome X's and O's guy. It's not just that he gets
talking about
on
BK
Twitter.
or Lane.
Talking about Lane Kiffin. Talking about it's not just the stuff that you see on social media and everything. This guy's a dog when it gets into the the coaching circle.
His dad, for people because I know that a lot of people are base value, and some people are young.
Yeah,
I remember Monty Kiffin.
Yeah.
I remember John Lynch playing for Monty Kiffin and Ronde Barber and Warren Sapp. That was their defensive coordinator at Tampa. I mean, he invented the Tampa 2 defense.
Right.
Like what most of these defenses run this shell coverage Tampa 2, he invented that.
Yeah.
And then Lane has talked about that where he was able to sit back and listen to his dad,
what his
Nick
pain points
Saban,
were,
and Pete Carroll, and listen to what hurt them.
Yep.
And he was like, 10-4.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's what I'm going to do. Because he grew up under 3 amazing defensive minds, but he doesn't want to coach the defense.
That's right.
He wants to tear them up.
Yeah.
So he's a genius when it comes to that. Is he the best guy on the planet? Does he have the highest character of anybody on the planet? No. But can that dude call an offense?
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Another thing that I had a Kiffin hater. Obviously, he's not an LSU fan. He said,
it's hard to imagine.
Yeah, he said, it's all he does, all he worried about is getting on social media and doing this and doing that. I mean, most of these good coaches, they don't talk about that kind of stuff. I said, dude, this guy is going out and recruiting 18-year-old kids. They love that stuff.
They have full accessibility.
He's not recruiting you. He's not going to recruit 45-year-old guys that are working in the plant.
Amen.
Right? He's going to recruit these young kids, and that's all they do is live on social media. So, closing thoughts, man. That went by really fast.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts on anything?
Yeah, I got closing thoughts.
I love it.
I'm kind of upset. You didn't bring it up. But something good did happen this football season. And it wasn't in college, and I could care less about the pros. But the Iowa Yellow Jackets, for the first time in school history, brought home the hardware in a dominating fashion, going undefeated throughout the year, beating a team that I personally went and watched them play 2 years ago, and it was a shellacking. It was terrible. They beat North DeSoto in the state final. I went to the game. One of the best games I've ever seen. The defenses on both sides tried so hard, but both offenses were so good that there was nothing they could do. I don't think either team would have lost that game. I just think one of them ran out of time.
Yeah.
And then the crazy thing, the way it ended, was a blocked punt, but it was called a roughing the kicker. And that ended and iced the game and gave Iowa the ball back, and they finished it off, and they won state for the first time in school. His first time they've ever been to state and the first time they've ever won state. And it was an amazing time. I got to see a bunch of my old friends, people I went to school with. I don't get to see them all the time. I live 3 hours away from them now. And just a little funny thing. There was a guy that was standing behind me. His name's Keith Green. He's not going to watch this, but he's cool. I love the guy. Love him, man. He was like my baseball coach when I was little. And me and his son grew up together, graduated together. And Keith's about 140 pounds, soaking wet. Mm-hmm. He's always been a small guy. Retired state policeman. Awesome dude. But he was standing behind me. And whenever it became evident that we had won, like whenever they called that flag, gave Iowa the ball back, and North DeSoto had no timeouts left, I turned around, I gave him a hug. Yeah. And, we're in the dome, so he's like behind me. I turned around, gave him a hug, and I don't know what possessed me. I was like, whatever.
Picked him up.
I just started just chest pressing him. And I mean, I shoulder pressed this dude probably 10 times, man. And I'm just throwing him in the air like he's my little kid. And I didn't even feel him there. It was so pumped up. It was so much emotion, so much passion. I'm literally throwing this guy around. He's okay. He's safe. He landed safely on his feet. And we hugged each other after. He had some choice words for me. But, it was an exciting time. So shout out Iowa, and we run it back next year. So
that's what I was going to ask you. The team that's coming this year that's playing, they've got a pretty decent guys coming back.
They had one guy signed D1, went to Houston. Another kid, their offensive lineman, he just signed with Nichols. But they do have a kid coming back. And mark my words, we're going to talk about him again. I am almost guaranteeing Lane Kiffin will recruit this kid. His name is Caston Lewis. Man, this kid.
What does he play?
At whatever.
Okay.
Football.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's unstoppable on both sides of the ball. When he was on defense, he was the best player on defense. When he was on offense, he was the best player on offense. Yeah. Hard-nosed. And he's just a junior. He's coming back. He's already getting offers from Mississippi State, Houston, Tulane, some of other local schools are starting to pick up on him. But it's just a matter of – and that exposure, to a state championship. When I was going to school there, nobody knew anything about us. And we were really good.
I thought y'all were Iowa.
Yeah, everybody did. But we had never won anything.
Yeah.
So now that these kids won that, it'll put those kids on that platform that they deserve. And Caston Lewis deserves anything that's coming to him. And so do a lot of those other kids. A kid named Jonathan Bushnell is the one that signed with Houston. Yeah. He's a phenomenal player. He had some amazing plays in the Dome as well. But they definitely have a great chance of running it back. So shout out Coach Tommy Johns. He's turning it around. We love you.
That's good. And you guys, they had a person that was connected to the team.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, we actually lost two guys. So when all growing up in Iowa, there was a guy named Russell Hardy who went there as a special needs guy. And, if you grew up in Iowa, you know Russell, man.
Right.
He went to school with my dad. So he was 66, 67, had a freak accident, some tragedy that took his life. But, cool thing about Russell, man, is he's just one of those guys.
Yeah.
And in that small town, everybody's got like that guy.
Right.
And Russell was ours. He was like the town janitor, handyman guy. And he could drive. He only drove inside of highway, but I mean, he went around, he opened he had a key to every business in the town. And he would open the doors. He would take care of people. He would open the doors to the church on Sunday morning for mass and all that. And he was a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
We always saw Russell everywhere. And then we also lost our play-by-play guy a couple weeks later.
Oh, man.
So, and he had been there for like 30 years. And his name's just getting away from me right now. But he was our play-by-play guy well before I was in high school.
Right.
So they definitely had a lot of loss. And then to bounce back with that state, it meant a lot.
Oh, sure it did.
Meant a lot.
Yep. Well, good deal, man. Well, it's good to be back in the saddle, man. It's good to get this thing rolling again. And been talking to a couple. We'll have some athlete interviews. I'm really working on getting Alex Franklin from LSU softball. They get kicked off next weekend.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be here today, but things happened, and so she couldn't make it. But we will get her on here to talk again, and working on a few more. So we'll get some more of that going. But we'll try and get to you guys on a more consistent basis. And
We will get to y'all on a more
we will put together a Super Bowl preview that we'll have out.
Down.
So, but yeah, man, thanks for tuning in. Faith Under the Lights. Make sure you follow, like, share, whatever you got. If you like what you hear, comment. Hey, I got some Jesus One t-shirts. Maybe we'll wear them for the next episode.
Sounds good.
Got a few of them. If you comment and tell me what size you are, if I have that size, I'll send it to you.
You got that.
All you got to do is comment. So thanks for tuning in.
I wear a small.
You do not wear a small. Thanks for tuning in. It's Faith Under the Lights. We'll see you next time.
God bless.
Faith Under the Lights podcast. Make sure to subscribe and share.